Hey beautiful people, welcome back to another Vinyasa practice. If I haven't met you before, it is lovely to meet you. My name is Sarah. Today's practice is going to be fun and creative. We are going to be building quite a bit of strength and heat in our lower body and our core. If you're looking to challenge your asana practice a little bit, if you're looking to move in different ways, then this practice will be for you. And before we get started with our asana practice, I'd love to bring a little bit of philosophy into this. And that's the concept that I'd love to bring in is Vairagya, which from Sanskrit to English translates as non-attachment. If you are interested in learning more about philosophy, I would highly recommend reading into the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. There is so much wisdom in this book about yoga and our practice of it, not just on the mat, but off the mat, especially off the mat, how we live our life. There's one sutra, which means thread in English, which talks about Vairagya. And Vai means without, and Ragya means color. So Vairagya translates into without color. And when I was first learning about this concept, I found it easy to interpret this as a lack of desire or a complacency. And the more I learned about it and read up on it and understood and practiced this, I understood it as a way of letting go of expectation for outcomes, letting go of attachment to external world things, so people, jobs, anything that I can grasp myself onto, letting go and just being at ease with what is. And in our practice today, perhaps we can utilize this or practice this as in reducing expectation of how this practice is going to feel in our body, how it's going to look in our body, letting go of judgment. And the more that we can do that, the more easeful our practice is going to be, the more joy we will feel from the process rather than the outcome. So with that, we're going to get started in a standing position. Let's get into it. So come on up. We'll bring our feet about hip width distance or bring the big toes together, maybe heels slightly apart. Soften the knees, soften the shoulders. Take a big breath in, try lengthening through the spine. And then as we exhale, maybe out of the mouth, letting go of tension. Letting go of expectation, letting go of the outcome, and rather enjoying the process, enjoying the journey of movement, enjoying the journey of breathing and connecting with ourselves. Yoga is not just about moving our body mindlessly, it's about being intentional with our energy, being intentional with our focus, letting go of anything we feel we are grasping for so that we can be more still. The second sutra in the book is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which basically translates to yoga is the restraint of the fluctuations in our mind. So the more still we can reduce those thoughts, reduce those attachments, the more still we're going to be. And that is our process, that is our practice of yoga. Start to bring some connection with the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose, filling up through the diaphragm, through the ribs and the chest. Feeling the ribs expand, not only up and down, but front and back, side to side. Touching each edge of your mat. might even like to start practicing your Ujjayi pranayama, so the constriction of the back of the throat. And as we practice potentially quite intensively for you, this pranayama technique will help you slow down and be in control and focus the mind on this present moment. Let's take about 3 to 5 more breaths here. Completely landing ourselves here on our mat in our class, in our practice. One more big breath. On your next breath in, can you sweep both of your hands high? Reach the palms just in front of the head, and then as you exhale, suffer the knees, tip yourself forward, Uttanasana. Hands come to the shins, big breath in, lift yourself halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, tuck the chin in. Inhale to rise, sweep the arms, squeeze the glutes, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, hands by the sides. Let's repeat that again. Breathe in and lift. Exhale, bend your knees, fold yourself forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift yourself halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise, ripple through the spine, and then exhale, hands by the sides. You can stay here or you can add on, breathe in. As you exhale, take the hands behind the head and roll yourself down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, option to take the arms wide like you're pressing towards the sky. Exhale to fold, tuck the chin in. Inhale, sweep both hands up and over. Exhale, Tadasana. Let's try that one more time. Breathe in and lift. As you exhale, hands behind the head, curl yourself forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, strength of the back lifts you high, draw elbows behind you. Exhale to fold, soften the knees. Inhale to rise, sweep both arms up and over. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale to lift, we add on. Exhale, Utkatasana. Hips go back, weight in the heels, chair pose. You squeeze the inner legs together. Draw the elbows down, the shoulders down the spine. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, hands come behind the back, the neck, draw yourself down. Inhale, halfway lift, soft knees. Exhale to fold, forward fold. Release the hands, sweep the arms up and over, big breath in. Exhale, feeling that rinse through the spine, breathe in and lift. Exhale, Utkatasana, hips go back. Take one more breath here. Drawing the belly button towards the spine, shoulders pull down. Breathe in, stay low. As you exhale, hands come behind the head. Drop yourself down, soften the knees. Inhale, open the arms wide. Elbows come wide. Exhale, soften down. Inhale to rise. Lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. Exhale, hands by the sides. We're going to move into our first short sequence here. Breathe in, sweep both hands high. As we exhale, hands through heart center, Utkatasana, hips go back. Okay, you can stay here or start to shift the weight into the left foot. See if you can hover the right foot off the ground. Option here to draw the right knee towards the right elbow. Big breath in. As you exhale, start to lengthen the left leg. Keep the elbow and knee connected as you tip your heart space forward. See if you can pull your right foot into the glutes. At any point, you can bring your fingertips towards the ground. Take one more breath here. Time to bring a bit of balance into our practice. Can you start to extend your right leg long, standing splits? Big breath in. Exhale, maybe tip a little bit further. Draw the right hip down. Take a big breath in as you step your right foot back. Breathe in, lift the arms. Exhale, hands come behind the head, open the elbows wide. Heart space lifts. Inhale, stay low as you shift your weight forward. Exhale, can you pull your elbows a little bit high? Drop into your left leg. Hands come towards the ground. Big breath in as you sweep your left toes up in your three-legged dog. Exhale, bend your left knee, draw the foot close towards the glutes. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths.
Can you soften your right knee here? Press through the hands, draw the chest towards the thighs. Use your next breath in, roll yourself forward into your plank, start to bend your elbows, chin and chest draws towards the ground, left leg is still bent, almost like you're trying to touch your head. Drop the left toes towards the ground, drop the hips down. Big breath in, baby Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, press up onto your knees, tuck onto your toes, lift the hips up and back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take 2 to 3 breaths here, maybe you walk out your feet, relaxing your head, letting go of any expectation, so you can be more fully present with your body and just enjoying how this movement feels, connecting movement with breath. Use your next breath in to walk up towards the top of the mat. Feet together, heels slightly apart. Exhale to fold yourself forward to Uttanasana. Hands to shins, big breath in, lift yourself halfway, shoulders pulled down. Exhale, fold yourself forward to Uttanasana. Breathe in, sweep the arms, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. Let's try that on the other side. Breathe in and lift. Exhale, hands pull through heart center, Utkatasana. Hips go back, shoulders pull down, belly button towards the spine. You can stay here. You can start to shift the weight into the right foot. Start to hover the left foot off the ground. Maybe you stay here, or see if you can draw the left knee towards the left elbow. The lower back is going to curve a little bit here. Big breath in, flex the left toes. As you exhale, start to lengthen the right leg, keep the elbow connected to the leg. As you tip your heart space forward, hands can always come towards the ground at any point. Try one more breath here. Try hug the left foot in towards the glutes. Big breath in as you extend the left heel away, standing splits. Exhale, maybe you dive your heart space a little bit deeper. Whew. Let's try one more breath here. Use your next breath in, take a long step back, lift the arms. As you exhale, hands interlace behind the back, draw the elbows wide, back leg is long. Inhale, start to lean yourself forward. Exhale, draw the elbows back, shoulders down the spine. Inhale, hands come towards the ground. Lift the right toes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the right knee, draw the right foot close towards the glutes. Let's try about 2 more breaths here. Can you draw the right shoulder down? Press through the hands. Use your next breath in. Look forward slightly. Start to roll yourself forward, chin and chest touch towards the ground, elbows tuck in. Option baby Bhujangasana, or breathe in. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. As you exhale, come up and back. Downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Soften the knees, stay here for about 2 to 3 more breaths. Keep pressing away from the ground here. Maybe a little shift from side to side feels good. Use your next breath in. Start to sweep the right toes high. Three-legged dog. Right leg is long. As you exhale, roll yourself forward. Right knee towards the nose. Set the right foot in between the hands. Breathe in. Sweep both hands high. As you exhale, bring the hands through heart center. Start to lean yourself forward. Draw your shoulder blades down the spine. Hug the belly button away from the right thigh. On your next breath in, hold here. As you exhale, start to pivot towards the left. Drop the left heel down. Open it into your extended side angle pose, Utthita Pajvakonasana. Can you draw your left shoulder back here? Hands are still at heart center. Right knee presses towards the right side of the mat. Big breath in. As you exhale, start to pivot back towards your leaning lunge. Back leg is long. One more breath here. Oh, starting to build some heat in that right leg. When you're ready, drop the left heel. Big breath in. Start to pivot. Exhale, deepen your hips down a bit more. Pull the left shoulder back. Breathe in, Virabhadrasana 2. Open the arms wide, square the hips, square the shoulders. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand down the left thigh, or maybe down the left shin. Right hand comes up and over. Try one more breath here. Can you bend a little bit more into that right leg? Come back through center, keep the right knee bent. Turn the left toes out slightly, goddess pose. So the knees are bent, toes are out, and we're trying to sink down. You might need to walk your feet out a little bit wider here for what we're doing next. Breathe in, start to shift the weight into the left leg, right leg lengthens. Exhale, modified Skandasana. Right heel stays towards the ground. Hips are about knee level or higher. Use your next breath in, stay low. Transfer to the other side. Exhale to deepen. Press the right knee out over the toes. Last time, breathe in, shift towards the left. Exhale, shoulders pull down the spine. Look towards the top of the mat. Bring the left hand towards the left side of the foot. Little hop forward of the foot. Right hand extends up. Paririta Uttita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. You can also use a block here. If you don't have a block, you can bring your hand to the outside of the right shin. One more breath here. Extend through the crown of the head. Use your exhale to draw the right shoulder back. Start to take the right hand behind the back, bind it with the left hip. Take a little shift back with the left toes. Breathe in, sweep the arm up high. As you exhale, reverse lunge. So you're drawing your heart space towards the right side of the mat, lifting up and out of your left hand. Use your next breath in, extend the right leg long. Exhale, revolved Trikonasana. You draw your left hip forward a bit more. Start to bend the right knee slightly, bring the left hand towards the ground, draw the left heel towards the left side of the mat. You can release your right arm, big step back into your Vashisthasana, your side plank. Try lift your hips up high, squeeze the glutes. Option here if you wanted is to lift the right foot off. Take one more breath here. Big lift of the hips. You can always drop the left knee down if you'd like. Then take a big step back or a small step back into your wild thing. So right foot comes to the left side of the mat. Lift the hips, extend the right hand towards the front of the mat. One more breath. Squeeze the glutes here. Shift the eye gaze towards the mat again. Breathe in, sweep the right toes high. Exhale, bend the knee. Option to bring the right leg down and just stay in your down dog, or breathe in, shift the weight forward, bend the elbows, chin and chest towards the ground. Inhale to open, exhale to roll up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Oh, let's try that on the other side. Breathe in, start to sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog, left hip drops down. Exhale, roll yourself forward, left knee towards the nose. Set the left foot in between the hands. Inhale, high lunge, back leg is long. As you exhale, hands come through heart center. Start to lean yourself forward. So pushing out of the back leg here. Imagine like the back of the right thigh was trying to touch towards the ceiling. Big breath in. As you exhale, start to revolve the heart towards the right, drop the right heel towards the left. Elbows are wide, maybe you lift the eye gaze here. Uttita Pajvakonasana, extended side angle. Big breath in. As you exhale, revolve back to your leaning lunge, so you're coming back onto your toes. One more breath here. Keep pressing out of the ground with the left foot. Use your next exhale, revolve back. Maybe you shift your eye gaze up as well. That's going to encourage the right shoulder back. Can you bend a little bit more into your left leg? Stay low on the left leg, breathe in. Virabhadrasana 2. As you exhale, flip the left hand, reverse your warrior. Right hand down the right thigh or the right shin. Left hand comes up and over. Try one more breath here. Lift the chest, come back through center, keep the left leg bent. Start to pivot the right toes towards the other side of the mat. Goddess squat. Draw the knees out. Maybe you walk the back foot out a little bit more. Big breath in. As you exhale, start to shift the hips towards the back of the mat. Remember, we don't want to drop our hips too low here. Breathe in, bend both legs, shift towards the front. Exhale. Inhale, last time. Exhale, shift to the back. Inhale, pivot the right toes forward, maybe a little hop. Exhale, right hand comes towards the ground, a block or to the outside of the shin. Extended, revolved Trikonasana. Can you draw your left hip back here, right hip forward? Take the left hand behind the hips, big breath in. Exhale, can you draw the left shoulder back a little bit more? Take a little hop back with the right toes, breathe in, sweep the right hand high. As you exhale, reverse your lunge. So we're taking a little side bend, twist, back bend. Keep pressing the back thigh towards the ceiling. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, extend the left leg long again. Rotate the chest towards the left side. Bend the left leg, place the right hand towards the ground, lift the left hand towards the sky. Drop the right heel towards the ground, big step back into your Vashisthasana using your breath in. As you exhale, maybe you lift the left heel here. At any point you can drop the right knee down. You can stay here if you wanted to. Take the left foot behind your right thigh. Lift yourself up into your wild thing. Press through the left heel. Drive the hips high. One more breath. See if you can revolve the heart space towards the ceiling a bit more. Then look down towards your mat. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee. Foot close towards the glutes. You can absolutely stay here. You could come back to your down dog or take a big breath in. As you exhale, roll yourself forward. Chin to chest towards the ground. Imagine like your left foot was trying to touch your head. Breathe into open. Shoulders pull down the spine. Exhale, come up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Whew. Okay, we've got one final sequence to play with, and then we're going to add it all together. Use your next breath in. Sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw the right knee towards the right elbow. Start to soften the left knee. Can you draw the right foot over the left thigh? Press your hips up and back slightly into a figure four, downward facing dog. Right knee draws back. Okay, we're going to get a little bit funky here. Look forward, bend your left leg. You can hop towards the top of the mat, or you can just simply walk yourself up. It might take a few hops to get up there until we get into a figure four forward fold. Start to lift the chest slightly. Hands are going to come through heart center. Draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. Breathe in, try lift yourself tall. Exhale, can you sink your hips back a little bit more? Now you can stay here, or you can start to shift the chest towards the left, keep the hips square to the top of the mat, and then come back through center. Oh, let's try that the other side. So breathe in, exhale to twist. Oh my goodness. And then come back through center. Lots of stability here. Start to take the peace fingers around your right big toe. Breathe in, start to press away from the left foot. Extend the right foot out in front of you. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Draw the right hip back. The right knee can be bent here. Big breath in. As you exhale, start to bend the left knee. Hips sink back, finding our way into a pistol squat. You can always bring the left hand down here. And then when you're ready, drop the hips down. We're going to get funky here. Big breath in. As you exhale, roll yourself back. Halasana. Right toes, try press towards the ground. Now release the hand, release the foot. So both feet are over your head. Big breath in. As you exhale, roll into a malasana. So feet go wide on the mat. Hands to heart center. Knees are bent here. Draw the chest, the knees out over the toes. We're going to bring the hands towards the ground and find our way back into a downward facing dog. You can take a vinyasa there. You can just step straight back. Up to you. Using your breath, finding that flow, enjoying that process of movement. First side is always a bit tricky, learning the sequence, but second side we might be able to get into a bit of a flow. When you're ready, breathe in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. As you exhale, shift forward, draw the left knee towards the left elbow. Start to bend the right knee, take the left foot over the right thigh. Figure four, downward facing dog. Press through the hands, draw the left knee back. Start to look forward, either walking to the top of the mat, or you can take a few hops to get there. So pressing through your right foot, finding a way into a figure four forward fold. Start to lift the chest up. Can you take your hands through heart center? Shoulders pull down the spine. Spread the toes of the right foot wide on the mat. Big breath in here. You can stay at center, or you can start to revolve the chest towards the right. Breathe in, come back through center. Exhale, revolve towards the left. Can you sink your hips down a little bit further? Come back through center. Take the left peace fingers around the left big toe. Breathe in and start to kick that left heel away. Left knee can be bent or it can be long. Draw the left hip back, left shoulder back. Right hand can be to your side. It can be on your hip. Big breath in here. As you exhale, start to bend the right knee, hips go back. Pistol squat, keep drawing the left shoulder back. You can hover the hips, you can drop the hips, you can wobble, you can play. Let's all drop the hips towards the ground. Breathe in, keep the peace fingers around the toes. As you exhale, roll yourself back till the left foot reaches down, then the right foot. Release both hands towards the top of the mat. Breathe in. As you exhale, roll yourself forward. Malasana, option here for our Bakasana, crow pose. Spread the fingertips wide, lift up through the chest, elbows come towards, the knees come to the back of the elbows, and then maybe you lift one foot off, maybe you lift both feet off. Ooh, try one more breath here. Maybe you vinyasa and jump back through your Bakasana. Maybe you step back. Up to you. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Just reminding ourselves that we don't want to rush this process. So if at any point you feel a bit out of control or that you'd like to slow things down, please do. This is your practice. The most important thing is that you are in your time. On your next breath in, we'll either walk or we can bend our legs, jump in between our hands. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shins, shoulders pull back. Exhale to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep both hands up and over the head, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. We're going to add all of those sequences together. I'm going to add on a little bit towards the end. But again, finding ease within movement, finding that joy of connection with the breath, with the body. And when we can still our mind as we reduce our expectations, as we reduce our attachments, then we can enjoy this process a bit more. Let's just take one more breath here. Maybe a big breath out through the mouth. Breathe in, sweep both hands up and over the head. Exhale, Utkatasana. Hips go back. Squeeze the inner legs together. Bring the hands through heart center. Stay here or shift the weight into the left leg. See if you can draw the right knee towards the right elbow. Flex out the right foot. Big breath in. As you exhale, start to lengthen the left leg. Tip yourself forward. Hug the right foot in towards the glutes. Can you press your right elbow towards the right thigh a little bit more? Big breath in. Start to kick your right heel back. Standing splits variation. You can always drop your hands towards the ground. Drop the right hip down a little bit more. One more breath. Big breath in as you reach both hands up and over the head. As you exhale, bend the knees, take the hands behind the back, open the heart. One more breath here. At any point, you can bring the hands through heart center. Start to shift the weight forward. Leaning lunge, draw the belly button away from the thigh. Big breath in here. As you exhale, start to drop the right heel down, open towards the right side of your mat. Pull the right elbow back. Big breath in. Exhale, come back. Draw the elbows towards the ceiling. Big breath in. As you exhale, open towards the right. Right heel drops. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Can you drop the hips a little bit lower? Can you peel that right elbow back a little bit more? Inhale, Vedabhadrasana 2. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Keep pressing the elbows towards the left side of the mat. Maybe lift the eye gaze here. Release the hands out in front. Bring the right heel in, both toes turn out. Maybe you bring the hands to opposite elbows here. Big breath in. As you exhale, bend the right knee, lengthen the left. Skandasana variation. Left heel is on the ground, left toes are on the ground. Use your next breath in and stay low as you shift towards the front. Exhale. Inhale towards the back. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen both legs, maybe a little hop forward. Exhale, maybe right hand down, right fingertips or onto the block. Left hand reaches high. One more breath. Try not to lock out the left leg here. Start to bind the left hand behind the back. Take a little step back with your right foot. Breathe in, bend the left leg. Exhale, reverse your lunge. Press out of the right heel. Inhale, lengthen the left leg. Exhale, revolve the heart towards the left, maybe lift the eye gaze. Bring the right hand towards the ground, drop the right heel towards the right. You have an option here to take your peace fingers around your big left toe. And as you do, you can sweep the left leg up, pressing out of the right hand. Try not to fall over like me, but again, we're just enjoying the process. No expectations of where our body is falling today. This is just an option. You can always find any modifications as you need. One more breath here. When you're ready, release the foot, take a long step behind you or a small step behind you, wild thing. Left hand high. Now you have a variation here that I'd like to offer. Look towards the ground, reach your left hand towards the top left corner of your mat. As you do, see if you can lift the left foot off and try to draw it up a little bit higher on the right side of the mat. So it's a big twist, big breath in. As you exhale, land the left hand, lift the left hand, left heel high. Three-legged dog. Start to bend the left knee, draw the foot close towards the glutes. One more breath here. Now you can stay here or use your next breath in, roll yourself forward. Chin and chest touches towards the ground, elbows in. Lift yourself up tall. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale. Come up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Last part of our sequence here. Breathe in, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. Draw the right hip down, exhale. Right knee towards the right elbow. Bend the left leg. Right heel crosses over the bottom of the left thigh. Keep lifting the hips up. Left knee is bent here. Either walking towards the top of the mat or bend your legs, look forward, take a few hops until we meet into a forward fold. Chin comes down slightly. Start to lift the chest. Big breath in. Maybe hands come to heart center. If you want a different variation, you could take the hands behind the head, peel the elbows behind you. Big breath in here. As you exhale, start to open the chest towards the left. Come back through center. Breathe in at the center, exhale other side. Keep flexing the right toes here. Draw the left elbow back, left hip back. Come back through center. Release the hands. Big peace fingers come around the big toe, left hand to hip. Can you start to press that right heel away? Draw the right shoulder back, right hip back. Big breath in. As you exhale, start to lower yourself towards the ground. Pistol squat. Lower the hips down, big breath in. As you exhale, roll yourself up and back, halasana. Release the hands, release the towards the front of the mat, release the feet towards the back of the mat, lift the hips a little bit higher, big breath in. As you exhale, malasana. Take the feet wide, option here for bakasana to roll straight into it if you'd like. Press out of the shoulders, back of the heart trying to touch the ceiling. And then when you're ready, coming down. Maybe hands to heart center. Knees press out. Taking a moment of stillness. We've got one final playtime. We're actually going to do this on the other side to give our left ankle a little bit of a break. So when you're ready, lift the hips up slightly. Let's see if we can hook the left hand behind the left thigh and then take the right hand behind, so you're coming into a bind. If this is not for you today, you can just have the left hand behind the left thigh, or you could use a strap or a pair of leggings to meet the distance. Start to shift the weight into the right foot. Can you lift up and start to draw the left knee out? Draw the shoulders back, Take a big breath in, lift tall through the spine. As you exhale, you have an option here to extend the left leg out long. Birds of paradise. Stay here. Maybe you extend your right hand out to a high V. You could stay here, or you could release your left hand as well. 2 breaths. Lift tall through the spine. Feel that strength forming in the quadriceps. And then land the left foot down. Big breath in through the nose. Lift up tall. Hands come behind the back onto your glutes. Exhale, standing Ustrasana. That was a big sequence. Release the jaw, release the eyebrows. Come back through center. Let's take some intentional breaths before we enter in the other side. And start to slow things down. Finding some stillness in the mind, letting this heat of our asana practice be used as a tool to clear any distractive thoughts out of your mind, distracting thoughts, letting go of any narratives, any thought patterns that do not serve you in this moment. And then we'll try this on the other side. So start to crack the eyes open if you had them closed. Maybe bring the big toes together, heels slightly apart. Breathe in, lift the arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Utkatasana, hands come through heart center, send the hips back, shoulders down, stay here. Or transfer the weight into the right foot, such as draw the left knee up towards the left elbow. This is a tough one. Can you press weight into both sides? Big breath in. As you exhale, start to tip yourself forward, hug the left foot into the thigh. Tuck the chin in slightly, bringing the eye gaze towards the big right toe. Draw the left hip down. Use your next breath in to extend the left leg out, standing splits variation. Exhale, can you draw the left hip down slightly? One more breath. When you're ready, take a long step back with the left foot. Breathe in, sweep the hands high. Exhale, clasp the hands together, open the elbows wide, open the heart, shoulders down. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, lean yourself forward. Drop into the right leg slightly, but keep pressing out of the right foot. Breathe in, open the elbows a little bit wider. As you exhale, drop the left heel towards the ground, open yourself into your Utthita Parsvakonasana. Draw the ribs towards the hips slightly. Maybe you lift the eye gaze. Breathe in here. Exhale, revolved back to your lunge. I can really feel the heat here. One more breath. Relax the jaw. Start to open back towards the left side. Draw the left hip back. Right knee tries to track towards the right side of the mat. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Keep the hands clasped. Exhale, left hand down towards the back of the mat. Right elbow reaches high. You can release the hands at any point here. One more breath. Come back through center, keep the right knee bent. Turn the left toes out. Goddess squat. Maybe the hands come around opposite elbows, breathe in. As you exhale, start to lengthen the right leg as you press the hips towards the left side of the mat. Inhale, stay low as you transfer back towards the front. Exhale. Inhale towards the back. Exhale, deepen. Turn towards the front of the mat, a little hop forward. As you exhale, left hand towards the ground to a block outside of the shin. Rotate the right hand towards the sky. So that left foot is turned out on a 45 degree. Maybe the left heel plants down. Start to bind the right hand towards the back of your hip. Breathe in to lengthen. Exhale, revolve the chest back slightly. Take a little step back with that left foot. Breathe in, sweep the left hand high. Exhale, side bend, twist, back bend, all of the above. Breathe in, lengthen the right leg. Exhale, revolve your triangle. Eye gaze comes down. Start to draw the left heel down. Maybe the right peace fingers come around the right big toe. You could start to sweep the right toes high. Keep pressing out of the left hand. If you want to challenge, you could try and lift your eye gaze towards your foot. Try one more breath here. And then when you're ready, releasing the foot, taking a little step behind into your wild thing. Big breath in. Exhale, reach towards the front of the mat, lift the hips up high. Again, you could stay here in a more of a back bend variation, or you could look down towards the top of the mat, reach the right hand towards the side, maybe the right foot hovers, trying to lift towards the top of the mat. One more breath here. When you're ready, right hand comes down, breathe in, three-legged dog. Exhale to bend. Draw the right shoulder down. Let's try to take one more breath here. If your body is calling for rest, then take it here. If you want to, big breath in. As you exhale, shift the weight forward, chaturanga, chin and chest towards the ground. Reach the right toes towards the head. Breathe in to open. Exhale to come up and back. Downward facing dog. Last part of the sequence. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, three-legged dog. Draw the left hip down, left shoulder down. Exhale, left knee towards the left elbow, hug it high. Bend the right knee, take the left foot over the right thigh, hips go back, press the left knee out. You could walk towards the top of the mat, or you could look forward, bend the knee, take a little hop or a few hops towards a standing forward fold with the left knee bent. Start to lift through the chest. Hands come through heart center. Utkatasana, figure 4. You could stay here. You could take the hands behind the head. Draw the elbows wide. Breathe in here. As the exhale, start to turn towards the right. Keep the left hip drawn back. Come back through center. Big breath in. Exhale, twist towards the left. Right hip draws back. Come back through center. Hook the peace fingers around the left big toe. Breathe in, start to lift up. Exhale, extend the left heel away. Maybe right hand towards the right hip, or you can extend it out. Left shoulder back, left hip back. Breathe in, lift up taller. Exhale, start to bend the right knee. Pistol squat. Drop the hips down, breathe in. Exhale, halasana. Starting with the left toes, and then release the foot, the right foot, release the hands. We're going to roll back into our malasana, option for our bakasana or crow. Big breath in. Exhale, roll. Maybe you go straight into your bakasana. And then landing yourself down. Nice job. Take a moment to breathe here. Slow down the breath, slow down the heart rate. And then when you're ready, start to lift the hips a little bit higher. We're going to take a bind with the right leg now. So shifting the right shoulder down in front of the left thigh, taking the right hand behind the thigh, left hand behind the back, maybe meeting behind the hips. Again, you can modify this by taking the right hand behind the thigh. Shift the weight into the left foot. Breathe in, start to lift tall through the spine. It's okay if you wobble or fall over. This is quite a challenging transition here. Okay, you can always just meet us up here. Big breath in, lift up tall. Exhale, maybe you extend the right leg out a little bit more. You could stay here. You could try extend the left hand out to a tall V. Maybe you stay here, or the right hand lifts high. 2 breaths. And then when you're ready, hands come down, big breath in, lift up tall. Hands come behind the back, Ustrasana, elbows tuck in slightly. And then come back through center. We're going to find our way into a balasana. So you could just head straight back down. You could flow through your first part of your Surya Namaskar. If there's anything else you'd like to do on the way down, please feel free to. I'll meet you down there in your child's pose. Maybe it feels good here to take a couple of releasing breaths. So breathing in through the nose, maybe exhaling through the mouth, letting go of weight in the upper body, letting the heart rate slow down. I'm going to start to slow things down. We've got still got a couple of funky movements that we might like to try. And you're ready, just roll yourself up. I'm going to cross over the feet, find our way onto our sit bones, and then extend both of your legs out forward. Take a big breath in through the nose here. As you exhale, fold yourself forward into your Paschimottanasana. Using your breaths in to lift and lengthen, tipping from the pelvis. As we exhale, just diving the heart space down a little bit further up the legs. Your knees might be bent here. If you want a different variation, you could try to hug your hands around the back of the feet. If they meet, you could always take your peace fingers around the big toes and using the pull of the feet to allow you to deepen into this variation. Can you relax the lips and relax the jaw? 2 more breaths here. And this is where we're going to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of playtime. So start to walk yourself up, draw the feet in slightly. We've all got the clasp of the fingers around the toes. And see if you can start to lift yourself into a ball. Okay, so we want to try stay up on the tops of our sit bones for this one. It's a little bit difficult. If this feels good, you might try extend one leg out, maybe the other. Again, this is just fun, it's playtime. Okay, it's not supposed to be perfect. Keep drawing the shoulders back. Okay. We're going to take about another 2 to 3 breaths here. Keep pressing out of the toes. And then we're going to roll back into a halasana. Okay, big breath in through the nose, lift up tall through the spine. As you exhale, roll yourself back. You can keep the fingertips around the big toes. You could always release it if you would like. Try to draw the belly button towards the spine. Lift the tailbone towards the top of the mat. Take 2 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we're going to find our way back into that lifted Paschimottanasana. Big breath in. As you exhale, roll yourself up. See if you can catch yourself at that top range. Okay, stay here. We've got a different variation. So variation 1, you can just hug the hands behind the thighs. Variation 2, if you want to extend your legs up, maybe hands around the shins. So right now we're on the backs of our sit bones here. So our spine is curved slightly. And see if you can draw the nose towards the knees. Maybe play with pointing and flexing the toes here. Try to curl your upper body in as small as you can. Take 1 more breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to find our way into our air pressure pose. Big breath in. As you exhale, roll into your halasana again. This time you have an option to bend the knees, taking the knees around the outsides of the ears. Maybe the hands stay on the back. You could reach them out towards the front of the mat. Maybe they clasp together. You're tucking your chin in. Feeling that release down the back of the neck and the spine. 1 more breath here. When you're ready, start to roll yourself down. Come in to a seat. Cross over the ankles. Extend your arms out towards the top of the mat. Tuck onto the toes, walk yourself towards the back of the mat. So we're in extended plank position here. Try to find flexion in the spine by drawing the belly button in and the ribs towards the hips. Shoulder blades pull apart. Start to bring the knees down, shifting the weight forward. Big breath in. As you exhale, squeeze the glutes and lower the hips towards the ground. Now you can always reach the hands out a little bit further if you need a bit more space in our extended Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. You can always bend the elbows and come into a Sphinx pose as well. We'll just take a couple of breaths here. Finding a counter pose to that deep flexion that we experienced. If it feels good, take a big breath in, try to lift a little bit taller. As you exhale, maybe the right ear drops towards the right shoulder. Left shoulder draws down. Breathe in, come back through center. Exhale, other side. Left shoulder, left ear towards left shoulder, right shoulder pulls down. One more breath here. Lower yourself towards the ground. Elbows come down, tuck onto the toes, lift yourself up into a hover. Again, draw the belly button in. Now start to lift the hips, press through the elbows. Maybe you walk your feet in slightly to find a dolphin pose. Big release for the shoulders, still quite active though. Soften the knees here. Can you press with the upper body to draw the chest back a little bit more? 2 more breaths. Bring the knees towards the ground, cross over the feet, find your way onto your sit bones. Final few asanas. Slow things down, tuck the left foot in. Right foot might be on the ground in a Sukhasana. You might take it up onto the shin, maybe up onto the thigh. Try flex the foot to stabilize through the ankle joint. Shift the hips back. If you've got full Padmasana here, feel free to go into that full lotus. Big breath in. Exhale, walk yourself forward. Maybe the hands are just down, maybe the elbows can touch. And rather than thinking about what came before this asana or what's coming after this asana, can you just find presence in this pose? Finding that connection with the inhalation and the exhalation. Allowing that to give space to let go and invite in. Start to walk the hands towards the right. Keep the right hand on the ground. Can you breathe and start to open the left elbow high? So we're finding a side bend here. You can always reach the right hand up a little bit higher. And then when you're ready, we'll repeat that on the other side. So walk the left hand over, breathe in, start to open the right shoulder. Exhale, draw it back. Come back through center. Let's swap it out. The side might be a little bit different. Again, we're losing expectation of needing to find evenness in both sides, or at least having both sides equal. Breathe in, lift tall. Exhale, fold yourself forward. One more breath here. And start to walk the hands over towards the left. Left hand places down, breathe in, open the right shoulder. Exhale, twist open. Let's try the other side. Breathe in, walk the right hand over. Exhale, open the left shoulder. And come back through center. We'll find our way onto our backs. And we'll probably head straight into Savasana, although if there's another asana variation that you'd like to try, maybe another twist, Feel free to go there. We'll just have like another minute or so for playtime, explore time, you time. If you are ready for stillness, you're more than welcome to find that in your own time. If there's any variations you'd like to try in terms of bringing in props like a blanket or a pillow, please feel free to. And then when you're ready, just settling in, closing down the eyes, letting your breath slow down, letting the weight of the body fall towards the ground. And with every exhale, maybe you reduce or lessen the need for control here. The control of needing to do something, needing to be someone. Whereas all you need to do, you need to be is right here on your mat, breathing. We'll just be here for another couple of minutes. I'll let you know when it's time to transition out. If you've noticed that your awareness has shifted off this mat, see if you can keep encouraging to come back. Coming back to the here and the now, the process, the journey, and finding fulfillment and joy in each moment that we arrive with intention. And start to bring some just energy back into our body. Maybe wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. Maybe breathing a little bit deeper, moving in a way that feels good. And then really slowly, we'll just find our way back into a seated position. You can choose how you get there. Can you honor yourself in this moment? Take as much time as you need, finding any movement you need to take before you land again. And sitting up tall through the spine. And if it feels comfortable for you, maybe bringing your hands through heart center. Reminding ourselves of our Vairagya, our non-attachment, as a practice that's not just on this mat, but it's also in our practice off the mat. And really our intensive practice is where we move through asanas and we find moments of stillness that allows us to practice better off our mat. At least we try and bring those moments into our lives. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh, it was really cool. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. From me to you, namaste. I hope to see you again sometime soon.